morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. So good to see you all. Um, I have a funny little story to share today as part of our practice for today. And I kind of debated about going this route today because, there are probably other methods we can work with before talking about this particular one, but it just kept coming to my mind. So I thought, okay, well, we'll just go with it and see what happens. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a really silly thing. So I happened to have in my kitchen my plant food next to my vitamin B12 vitamin dropper. And I was in my head. I imagine you can see where this is going. I was in my head and moving around my kitchen and thinking, oh yeah, I haven't taken my B12 for a while, so let me do that. So I empty a dropper full of what I thought was vitamin B12 under my tongue, because that's usually where I let it hang out a little bit before while it's absorbing or whatever. And all of a sudden, I realized, wow, this doesn't taste right. And then under my tongue started burning, and I realized I had put plant food under my tongue. So I spit it out. It wasn't in there for very long, fortunately. I spit it out, but that sensation and that ammonia flavor had saturated the area under my tongue. And it was, understandably horrible, right? So but there was no amount of brushing teeth that day, mouthwash, Listerine strips. I tried everything, and it was really kind of just a nauseating experience. I'm so sorry for describing this, but there's a point to it, so hang in there with me. So the next day, I'm like, oh my gosh, this sensation is going to be with me for the rest of my life, right? It really felt like this is never going to go away. And so what I did was I sat down. It was my meditation time anyway, and I sat down and I just thought, okay, what if I help the cells of my mouth release that flavor? Worth a try, right? So I sat and I got centered in my heart where I could feel really grounded, and I just imagined those cells, the skin cells, that tissue under my tongue, so every cell releasing that flavor, releasing the ammonia, releasing the burning sensation that was still there, just releasing everything having to do with that. And I did that for a little while, and it worked. It worked. It might have been even a couple of days after that I finally tried that. But the reason that I'm bringing that up today is because so much of our pain is held in our bodies physically, our emotional pain, our physical pain, of course, but there's a lot of thought around it also. There's a lot of when our cells try to protect us from things, so it will remind us, our cells, our mind body system will remind us of pain so that we protect ourselves from it. Like we can think of sticking our hand in a fire, and our mind body system will say, no, that's not a good idea, because remember that one time when you got close enough to feel that heat, and we're going to remind you of that so that you don't hurt yourself. So a lot of our pain is just our body system trying to protect us from experiencing more, which can be really excellent to keep us from sticking our hands in fires or putting plant food under our tongues. But it's not great when in that it can hold on to pain also that it doesn't need to hold on to anymore. Like, I get the message. My plant food and my vitamin B12 are no longer in the same place in my kitchen, so I will not confuse that again. But my body would have wanted to keep reminding me of that by, reminding me of the taste or the burning sensation. And what I did during that meditation was released, allowed, gave the cells of my body permission to release that memory and the trauma, if you will, around that memory, so that it didn't have to hold on to it and keep reminding me how thoughtless I was that day. So, and our emotional pain can be like that too, where we're holding on to something that feels so hard. Maybe somebody hurt our feelings, or we're angry at somebody. And if we can sit and just observe it, observe that pain, emotional pain, physical pain, and see it dissolving, see it dissipating from our space, then it really does help let it go. Maybe there's other work to do. Maybe, maybe we need to go see a doctor. Maybe we need to have a brace on a limb or something. We need to take care of ourselves physically, but we can release some of the thought content around the pain that holds it in place, at least from a mental and emotional level, if not physical. We're going to have physical pain. That's part of having a body, but we don't have to suffer around it. There's a Buddhist saying that goes along with that, actually, which is, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And the suffering is what we're bringing to that pain. I was going around and around in my mind thinking, oh my gosh, did I permanently burn my my mouth with this? Am I always going to taste this flavor in my mouth? How long is it going to last? I know I didn't have it in there long enough to, poison myself or something, but I was a little worried about how long that was going to be hanging out in, constant awareness because it was really a horrible taste and experience. And so that suffering, that worrying about it, that, it was uncomfortable. So my mind was paying attention to it. And I just let myself pay full attention to it and gave permission for my body to release the memory of that experience. So, so with a lot of our meditation practices that we'll do on Mondays and practices in general, I mean, there's so much more out there than even what I know or what I offer. But so much of it is learning to, I want to say, training the mind to pay attention to what we want it to pay attention to, rather than what it's biologically programmed to pay attention to, or emotionally programmed to pay attention to. So it's about learning about the mind and learning about how much manageability we have that we don't think we have. So that's my story. So I would like you to just think about something that might be painful, whether it is a body part, a memory, a current situation. This might be making it too broad for us today, whether we're doing emotional pain versus physical pain. But even if you are carrying any stress in your shoulders, we're just gonna try it out. And maybe if you want to have something specific, maybe a physical stressor in your body would be the best thing to start with, because it's very tangible. When we can feel something viscerally, then it's easier to pinpoint than emotional pain. Sometimes, emotional pain can have lots of different aspects to it. So I invite you to just think about something that you'd like to focus on today, and to support your mind-body system in releasing from your awareness, from your consciousness, from your body, from your cells. So as you're thinking about that, just let yourself relax in your space and Take a couple of deep breaths to help your body relax, your mind settle in to our time together. And we're going to first center ourselves. So just notice within your mind, body right now where you most feel your center. Maybe it's in your heart center, or that third eye place between your eyes. Maybe it's your bottom in the chair. Just let your focus be there right now. Let all of your attention be there. So for me, my center right now is in my heart. Just feel the spaciousness in your center, the peace, the clarity. Let your breathing be natural and from the diaphragm or from the belly, as we say, rather than just from the lungs and the chest. And when you feel anchored in this center, let your attention, just a fraction of it, go to a place in your body where you feel tension or pain, discomfort. And we're just going to notice that discomfort. You can notice any judgments of it or emotions around it. So we're just going to let those be, hold them very loosely, and even see those judgments of the pain dissipating, like bubbles popping. Any judgments of ourselves regarding the pain, just dissipating into thin air. And just feeling the cells of the body of this area, tuning into them. And perhaps you can feel how they're struggling to both hold on and protect at the same time. And we're just going to give them permission to let go. We're not going to make them let go. We're just going to gently, lovingly give them permission. And perhaps as you do that, you can feel it releasing, like stale air from a tire, or those bubbles popping in the air. And perhaps you can have a conversation with those cells, the ones holding on more tightly than the others. It's okay to let go now. It's okay. Thank you for doing your job. Perhaps you need to say to those cells, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing this to you, and I will not be doing that again. It's okay to let go. And perhaps the base physical pain is still there, but feel the inflammation of suffering around it, gone, released. So all that's left to buffer that physical area is love and compassion. And perhaps you can even see every cell that has released what it's needed to release is filled with light, soothing, warm, healing light. And let your attention return or check in with that center that you located, that you began with, and see if that's different. See if you notice the overall flow clearer or expansive, unimpeded. And this light and this flow, this love and compassion, this fills our day. It fills our week ahead. We move forward, more consciously aware of this ownership of our mind and body and what it carries, what it doesn't. And that light that we're allowing to flow right now just connects with the light of all those here with us right now and beyond. All the people we'll be in touch with today and this week. So bringing this light with you, with us, we prepare to transition out of the active meditation time, but still bringing that light. Feel your body in your chair, in your space. And when you're ready, and it doesn't have to be right now, but just take a couple of deep breaths and breathe in. Breathe in that light. Breathe out everything else. Throughout your day, throughout your week. I thank you for being here today. I'm going to gently end our call together, but I invite you just to stay put and enjoy that space for a while. Enjoy that flow. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for bringing your light and energy here. It makes a difference. And have a wonderful week. Bye-bye for now.